In the last episode, I explained to you what the employer's fee covers. Now, I'm going to talk to you about what you might end up paying and how to avoid any nasty legal fee surprises.
If you go to a lawyer who wants to charge you for the advice, you will be obliged to pay them because that's what you've asked for. So the advice that you seek from the lawyer, you must be very clear on, because what the lawyer will then do is say, yes, okay, your employer's paying £250 or £500 or whatever they're paying, your bill is £2,000 because we also advised you on whether or not you had a case, and now you've decided to take the settlement agreement, so you owe us a balance of £1,500, and that can come as a complete shock because the person thought that they were going to get everything covered. So you need to be very clear. A lot of solicitors have hourly rates. Myself as a direct access barrister works very differently, but if you go to somebody with a settlement agreement who is being told in the settlement agreement that they will be paid up to £350 and their hourly rate, for example, is £175, well, that's actually 2 of their hours of their time. And they will try and wrap this up within 2 hours. Now, if you then spend 4 hours with them talking about negotiating upwards, or 6 hours with them trying to find out you've also got a case, they will probably charge you for those additional hours separately at 4 times £175, in addition to claiming back the money from the employer. So the point is, be very careful and understand what you are signing up for when you go to an independent solicitor for legal advice, because normally solicitors will work on an hourly rate, which is how it is in the legal profession. But what you need to be asking your solicitor, or even the direct access barrister, or anybody you go to, is you need to be very clear on the advice you want. When people come to me for settlement agreements, I normally say to them, have you negotiated your package? And I also ask them, are they happy with the terms and conditions? Now, a lot of times people haven't actually looked at them at that point. And I usually, within my free 15-minute consultations, tell them, go away, read your agreement in detail and go back to your employer and get everything done yourself, get all the figures put in, and then come back to me, because your employer is not going to pay me to tell you whether or not you have a case against them. It's logical. Think about that. Why would the employer pay an independent lawyer to advise you to sue them? They wouldn't. All they want to do is tell you to go under the terms and conditions of the agreement. So they're only going to pay for that. So really, you must bear this in mind, and a lot of people do not understand this. One of the key clauses within a settlement agreement is the legal costs clause, which actually is directed towards the lawyer that you hire. I have done so many of these settlement agreements over the years, and each settlement agreement has a different fee attached to it, which I will get paid for doing that settlement agreement. Or when I say doing that settlement agreement, the fee I will get paid for reviewing that settlement agreement and advising the client on the terms and conditions for its execution. The legal costs usually are paid directly to the lawyer. So one thing you should note is that you do not need to pay that money. That money will be claimed by the lawyer directly to the company that is providing the settlement agreement, as in the employer. One thing you need to understand is that a settlement agreement can go to a solicitor or a direct access barrister. So you can choose who you find. A lot of people seem to think you can just go to a solicitor because the agreement normally says within it solicitor. So when I have had to sign off settlement agreements and send in something called the advisor's certificate, which is another clause, I will have to amend the little bit which says I am a barrister, not a solicitor. So you can go to a direct access barrister, and it's always worth pointing out to them straight away what the fee is and confirm with them the advice that you require, because sometimes the advice that you require might be different to what the settlement agreement actually states. So you might want to know whether you've got a case to sue the employer, and what the settlement agreement is saying is you just need to say goodbye to us, and here's some money to go and read through the terms and conditions and tell us whether you're happy to take it or leave it. So you need to be very direct and tell the lawyer straight away how much they're going to get paid, because they can then determine how long it's going to take. Legal fees wise, a settlement agreement, if it's straightforward, can be done actually even within an hour in some cases, because I've had people come to me who will say, we're happy to take it. All we want you to do is read it for us and tell us that everything is fine. And that cannot take very long. The settlement agreements that can take longer is when people are unsure or they're not sure about what a clause means. So that is where the distinguishing element comes in. If you're not sure about whether you should take it or not, or you're not sure about the clauses, they're two separate things. So if you want elaboration on the clauses, then the fee that's offered by the employer is usually claimable by the lawyer, okay? If you're contemplating bringing legal proceedings, then you would have to pay that legal fee to the lawyer. Now, I have set up a reduced fee package for this, which is the standard opinion package, as well as a reduced fee consultation. If you've got only 50 pages and you want to come for a consultation for 2 hours with me, which includes an element of pro bono free time as well, then that is your best option. However, if you have more documents and you want me to look at the grievances, you want me to look at the background, you want me to look at the policies, you want me to work out if there's any discrimination, or advise you and endorse the fact if I think there is any discrimination, and whether or not you have prospects of success to bring this case, then the reduced fee conference package may be suitable if it's up to 50 pages, but if not, the standard opinion package may be better for you, which allows you up to 4 hours with me, in which I will go through everything with you on a Zoom, and you will share the documents and I will look at them with you, and I will conclude by the end of the session whether or not I think it's worth you pursuing the case or taking the settlement agreement. If a settlement agreement has become a point of discussion for you, and if you are an employee or an employer, please come and talk to me in the free 15-minute sessions. You can self-book these on my website, www.thedirectaccessbarrister.com. I am Haresh Sood, and this is Pancho.